No, because that's leaving right after davening. Yeah.
Tomorrow, no shiur. Okay.
No SHIUR.
Okay, so let's go back to the Miluyim. Now, he's got
Yeah.
these Miluyim laid out. It makes me a little bit nervous. I'm always nervous when I get around the Maz and the Bens that he's talking about, and I try to analyze it as best I can. So he says, now we're going to talk about the Inyan of Elias Man. And he writes, Kodem Amshachas HaMochim Tzarek Lahakdim La'alos Man. V'man ha'ola, what is it? Heim biruri hamalach shenaflo be'esh shaviras hakelim v'chagia ata eis tikunum. V'cham v'man kola bebechinas ach bebechinas panim shechein hakelim design malach shenishbaru hoy kolula bebechinas bepanim v'ach. They were also the same way. So there's maybe a little bit of fact that I don't think was necessarily mentioned. Haman da'ach oiler ordered bezivuk the tzarach hamshachas mochen da'ach, and then he said v'haman deponim olim b'morim zivuk the tzarach hamshachas hamochim deponim. So, okay, so he says that even in the Yichud itself, there's a hefresh between the man that's going to the it sounds almost like two different kinds of Yichudim that's taking place in the Avsak da'ach. So let's go on a little bit more. So he said, "V'chaseidu shedechida chabaodim meberuhim da'ach v'chababurim deponim yachtav." So originally, so to understand, it sounds like they're going together. Mebia latzilus, from bila until latzilus. V'asi beruhim deponim nisharim b'latzilus, but they remain in latzilus ad shigia zaman hamshachas hamochen deponim, until that the time comes for the hamshacha of the mochen deponim. So he wants to say that the mochen, the ach, start first. Raka b'ruim the ach amamshichin la'alos parts of ad she'olim and ma'ordim zivug parts of avasag the ach. Oh, just 1 second. V'asa b'ruim deponim nisharim b'atzilus, the remaining atzilus ad shigiyah zaman hamshachas of mochen deponim. So he says they remain in Itzilus. I guess he means to say that Itzilus is below the level of the Avsag Da'ak, but they're in Itzilus. Now he has, let's see, there's no note on that. I thought there was a number Gimel on that somewhere. No? That was previously. Okay, so let's go on. So he says, Mechazivuk the Partsufi Avsag Da'ak, Noided Salam Shalom the Mochen Da'ak. So he said, so there you see that Tzilus is not the Avsag Da'ak, it's higher. The Nimshach and the Mochim, the parts of the called parts of the Okeach, as the Moch and the Shayachim alone. Umizdaveg Mamshech HaMochen, the parts of Shetachtov, and there's a Yichud that takes place at the next stage. And it brings mochim into the parts of Shetachtov, ad shemekabdim Abba ve'imach as a mochin the ach shalahem, until Abba ve'im we get to the stage of Abba ve'imah. Umizdavim kedei lahamshik l'laholid as a mochin the godless the ach, and they have a yichud. What's the yichud for? In order to be able to bring out laholid as a mochin the godless the ach. Now, up until this time, we're actually at a lower level. And he calls these the mochin, the godless, because that is because godless, it sounds like now, it really refers to Zeranpin and the Nukva. Because before that stage, before it gets to Abba Ve'ima, we don't see that word used. So just coming down to that level, now we see the development of the ultimate mochin, the mochin of consciousness here, into the Ach. Vaz Abba Mamshech or Mamolad is a mochin the ach to Abba. Then Abba brings the same thing happens in the mochin the after. That's the Ima he's talking about. Shehem ma dema uben dema. So let's see like this. Shehem ma dema uben dema. Now this is a case where, like I'm trying to understand this, is that the last one is the operant. So he gives birth to these two different aspects of ma, the ma dema and the ben dema, but only of ach. So it would be the same thing maybe on the panim, but we'll see. Ve'ima, let me move this over here a little bit. Ve'ima, mamshechas and molida as a mochin the ach the ima, so she does that too. which are what? They're going to be, in other words, once again, the last letter is, the last pair is going to be ma de ben u ben de ben. So it's going to be the last one, the ach. And that's, I'm trying to see if there's something to this. Okay, we're going on. But then a chiluf takes place. Now, once again, like I said before, I think I remember, and I see he said it previously, that they have it the opposite in some places. So, at any rate, this is the one we're working with. We see that found in Abba a whole complete salam of the mochin de ma de ma uma de ben. Again, this is coming, that's in Abba, because once again now here this chiluf is the operant, is the first ma. So it's the ma de ma and the ma de ben. Okay, it's like, I'm not sure, it's like instead of being influenced from the right to the left, it's left influenced, like it seems to me, to the left to the right, that the right is the important part of this. So, so that's what happens now. Let me see how my time is going here. I'm going to read over to the next one that says about the dormita. And we'll have to, while you're in LA, we'll have to let that sleep for a while. Now we see all the mochin da'ach are going to come flying in. Which is once again ma de ma ma de ben, because the first the operator, this abba is the ma. So he said that's going to be the first one. But salam mochin de'ima, which is the ben de ma or the ben de ben. So where's this coming from? It's coming from this whole, the complete salam mochin the abba, nivnara b'parts of azah, and mitzalam mochin the ima, nivnara b'parts of anok. But the chila mispashet mochin b'zah. So the first thing that happens is this is pashtus of the mochin into zah. V'lokeich zah la'atzmo as chelak hamochin shalo. So he takes the portion that belongs to him. Shehem salam mochin the ima, the abba. Ma de ma, which are once again ma de ma ma de ben. So this builds up the column or the height of the back of Zeranpin. Called Sarchel. Now he's really grown up tall. Now it's important for us to remember that, because you see it and you see it and you see it. Here he's telling you straight out. It's a ha'ara belvad shalamochem shalom, because you know how we went through the nekev in the chaz of Zeranpin, go through all of that. This is a ha'ara though. V'avehem salam amochem de'ima, and that's what's coming ben de ma u ben de ma u ben de ben, ben de ma u ben de ben. He says of a derek nekev achre ha'chaz shalom that comes through that place. Misham yotzin the mochin de ima v'niknase benuk meisha meirosha l'lamata. Okay, so we'll stop there and we'll pick up a little, with God's help, a little Sifra D'tzniuta. And let me see, I don't know what day today is. Today is the 20th? What day is today?
15th of TAMUZ.
15, okay, 15 TAMUZ. Okay, all right, so we're saying the Siyata Tova. Now, Yoli Flashman, he had said, and I could say some of this a little bit out loud, so that we had said that in the Kesser of Eric Anpin, which is the Kesser, the most is an appearance of this triangular formation called, which I call the Maskala, which we saw this in the Idris. And he said he's trying to show us just how panimistic this starts, and it brings to mind that, you know, that what you have in reality is a series of duplications, because whatever appears in our world had to have an origin, and that's what he's looking at. That's what we're looking at. So we came down to number Tesvav at the very bottom. I have to read a little bit, so we can just have some idea where we're going. So let's start where it says Vavi law butzini de kardenusa. So we want to talk about the letter Vav, and he wrote that Os Vav Elyon shuhu pebinibiu shisha kitzvos de Erikanpin. So he says if you looked at Eric Anpin and you looked at it like a skeleton, and it was just six different parts of that skeleton, let's say, so to speak, or that, I don't know if that's the right word. Inside of that is this vav. So he says Elyon means panimi to it. Panimi shisha kitzvos the Eric Anpin. It has a root in the das of Kesser, a nikra butzini de kardanusa. And he went over that from the notes that we saw yesterday, saw the last time. Let's see. Okay, I got a double shot. I'm doing everything wrong here. A nikra butzini de kardanusa mitzad gevuros de das, because in the gevuros das has gevuros in it, is related to the gevuro of Atak. This ata besitroi. So he said that phrase sitroi, which usually means like the side, in its side. He said v'oz vav shal das mispashet beguf Eric Anpin and misata b'shisha kitzvos. That's what he calls the sitroi elyonos shebeshorish dash, which is the place of the shorish of the das. And let's see if we get down lower and now look at this piece that's coming up. He says, but the first Rishon in Mantoba. He said, of the Fusim Noisif Kam, he says, Rei Bahadras Melech, Shabir Gegirsazu, Muvos Devoto Ba'utzach Biurim, he said, let's go on, Ein Sham, Rei Ma Shabiarda Bezerra Bezarchai, he said, Babuba Devoto Sham, over there, waiting to get, these are all the different backgrounds, Ein Sham. Excuse me. He said the Yesh Makom the Farish Girsazu. There's a place to explain this Girsa. I think I'm in the wrong place. I'm sorry. I should be on Tesvav. I thought this was Tesvav. Okay, going back again. He said Rei Bibir Hagroakan. What does that phrase mean? Who love kids' voice? Shehem shis sitrin shaldas. So this is the kids' voice, the same idea. Ad kan. Also the das go ihu rozu the shis sitrin. So it is the secret. It's panimi to them. Ad kan. Are they manifest from this vav? From this das. Also over there, is boyer la'il al piha emes the Yaakov. The ire that is talking over the Ravakan b'das hamispashet b'shisha kitzvos the Eric Anpin. So it's not the das that's going to Zer Anpin, or is that what he means? Is boyer kan the shorish adas hu b'makom shebein shtei kasvin the Eric Anpin. This is where you find the beginning of das, or the revelation, the manifestation of this das. After this happens, Yor the das v'nislavish b'shisha kitzvos the Eric Anpin atzmans, and the dash says a yored da das v'nislavish into the vok. V'hoya ruchnius aleichem, and it is a penimi to them. It's a ruchnius to them. It's what? It's a breath to them. It blows, it inflates them. Ve'ein lo makom makubats, and it doesn't have a specific place where it's found. Ki'im bein trin kaspin de Eric Anpin hu omed, but we understand that, what would you say is that place? That's like the spinal cord, or not on the outside, but some kind of a mechanism in the middle. Ad kan. We have the same idea over there, but so he writes like that. Ki ikar hadas yashev lo b'shlisha elyon to teferes derek anpin base kadbein base kosboy. So that's the same thing. V'zer shorsho, and that is where shorsho. Yeah, that's where its root is. And then from that place branches come out. The nispashet be'erik anpen, and it spreads into the vav kitzvos. I think it like, because he uses the word rucha, that's the reason why I said like blows them up. He inflates them. So maybe that's a way to look at it. We'll see. The nispan be'erik anpen bevav kitzvos ad kan. Ein sham. And I think that's not so far off as a metaphor, because let's say that there are 6 kitzvahs, or there is the potential of 6 kitzvahs. This brings the chiyus into that ruach that he's talking about. B'makam shorish, so here in this place where there's a root, b'shorish hadas, yesh gam kein shisha kitzvahs. So wait a minute. He says also in the place of the shorish, they're going back to the same idea that we had before. There's something panimi to that. Yesh gam kein shisha kitzvahs. Besod chasad b'gevuras hadas, and the 6 kitzvahs that are there. Now I don't know how you go from the chasadim and the gevuras hadas are 10, and here he's saying that the secret of this, though, is in the chasadim and the gevuros, which came from Abba ve'ima ad kan. V'ayin sham v'hida b'makom shorish hadas yesh gam kein shisha kitzvah. So that's where I was. Besod chasadim and gevuras hadas. Asher b'mena mispashtem anofim, because it's from those that the branches come out. So he's not saying that the 6 kitzvos, which is panimi, is the same thing as the chasadim and the gvuros. I think he's saying that the panimius is that there's a vok or a shisha kitzvos, panimi to the whole thing, and from there they also invigorate. I used the word inflate before. I'm not sure. Besod chasadim and gvuros hadas, and it inflates them. And so therefore from them it causes, you're going panimi, it's causing them to spread in anofim. He says so he says, where do you see this in Eitz Chaim? He said in the klal the marachol klal kof. This is, you're going to quote it. Hey, mispashtim b'chagat nehim. Where do they actually spread to? They spread into the whole 7 parts that we need there. So you could ask I asked a question right away. That 5 chasadim, how do you get to 7? But actually, there's a kolel and a kolel. The kolel, I guess, you could say that because they're going to fill up these spaces. And they are the roots, that's what he said before, of the 7 anofim, elu hamispashtim ve'em neshama lachem, they are like a neshama to them. And this is what it says in the Tikkunim. He said, Shachadas nishmas hatferes. And what is das? So Tiferes, of course, the balance scale and the 6 kitzvahs. So because this is where you find. So again, find the root of this. This is what he said before, is there's a root inside of the root, which is what he wants to say is that there is a template of the 6 kitzvahs inside of the das itself, which is manifest at that shorish of the das, which is manifest into the 10, the 5 chasadim, 5 gevuros, which become anofim to it. It's like they're an energy for it, and they make them branch out. And then they become incorporated into the Tiferes, who's zayin tachta, which is another way of saying the zad. Ad kan, ein sham. So also we see this in SHAAR HAKAVANOT. So once again, it begins at this place. So because I'm translating Isater now, is that the initial point. The anfed das mispashtem b'shisha kitzvos guf Eric Anpin. That is the place we're looking at, if it's possible to describe it. So misatrin. So it begins there, it initiates there, b'shisha kitzvos al yana shel shorish das, which is also, the beginning place of that, misatrin. That means the beginning place of that is in the shisha kitzvos al yanos, which turn out to be b'shel shorish das and mispashet ha'omad ben shtei kaspaim de'erikan ben canal. So we have a little tracing of what's inside of what's inside of what's inside of, also constantly being manifest in a lower, more physical form. But often nosef yesh the boyer kan. It's a little bit more. He says we can explain over here. Who al pi or yakar shemavoyer kan de is ante besitroi. That phrase. Heimlich das Eric anpen mis ante bebes itrin de das. Das actually has two starting points. Shehem betrin citrin, which are on these two two sides, which are one side is the right, one side is the left. Chasadim and Gavuros. Umihu beverik anpen the kol nachshava bebechidus min. Is considered to be everything is considered to be right. Removable oaths of Biurim Khan. There's going to be more to speak about that. And when you get back, Metz Hashem, we'll look at. Do we have any more time? Very little. You want to look back at the back and see what's in the oaths of Biurim in 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. Where would it be, man? I got the wrong place here. But cut for the cutting. Okay. We're going to go back over this again. Bekitfu de Katvin, which he translated as as the skull. I was just thinking that I'm thinking of getting a set of which I saw in Israel, of the same group, the Abu Hatzera group on the Zohar. There's a Zohar now. So I'm thinking of getting to that. I don't know if you saw it. Maybe you saw it already.
I've seen some of it.
So yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll look at.
Huh? Like we did in the Idris. That's the same people we did in the Idris.
Yeah.
And they did some other volumes, yeah.
Besides, also this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that could be a different approach than I think maybe you might like it more. I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, he said, but keep the inside of the skull, beruach the sririn the masculine. There's a generation of some kind of a ruach there that's bound to what we see as the very beginning of the concept of the balance scale. Maybe we could read just the first one. I think is probably Bekitvo de Katvin. He said, Rabbi Zohar Sifra D'tzniuta shalofenenu. Yesh kan kama girsals. There's lots of different ways to read it. The first one, Girsas Arizal. Bederek emes abir agroa. Like we see through that, I guess, abir agroa. Bekitvu de katvin beruchel saribah de maskala. That's the way they read it. Number base, the Girsa base is Hadafus Vahadras Melech is Bekitvu de katvin saribah berucha the maskalim. Gimel is Girsas the Fus that's the one from Mantoba, Cremona. Balgoz Derek Emes Begillion the Zohar. Bekitfun Bekitfoy the Katvin, Bitsriba the Masculine. So just saying that there's different ones. I'm not really concentrating on this now. Just finish it up. Dalat Girsas or Yakar, he has a different Girsa, Bekitfoy the Katvin, Berucha the Masculine. So we'll see that. Mitzvah Shem, so I know your birthday's coming up, but it's a way down. You're going to be back by then, correct?
Yeah, hope so.
Okay. God willing, everything refuah shaleva for your mom. Have a safe Nesiya Tova. We'll see you in 8 days, you say? 8 days or something like that? You'll let me know. You'll let me know, okay? Call to us. Bye-bye. Okay. Hi, darling.
Still here?
Yeah, he's going on vacation for 8 days.
Today?
Tomorrow he won't be here anymore. We could get out early and do the bikes. Or we want to do the bikes now. No, I got to go to shul.
I can hardly hear you.
Oh, come in. I say my chavrus is going out of town for 8 days.
But he's in town today?
We're finished. So that could be a good time to, or even today. You just did running or not? You did? You just ran?
I ran.
How'd it go?
I didn't shower like I usually did because I thought we might be doing something else.
Well, you want to do the bikes.
Yeah, we can try them, but not immediately necessarily.
What do you mean? What was that?
We can try them out. It doesn't have to be this minute.
Well, I'm going to shul.
Right. Okay. Good.
I'll go to the shul, the Young Israel.
I need you to pick me up a few ingredients before you come home.
Oh, okay.
Sugar and one other thing, I think.
Well, you gotta, how could I guarantee that I'll do
I
that?
think I'm going to start laundry in a few minutes.
That's exciting.
I watched the whole Trump speech. Man, was that long.
Too long?
I thought it was a little too long. I thought he went in more than he should have.
So he might have peaked.
Peaked? Just because it went too long?
No. The miracle that happened to him was really, had to have changed him a lot. It's like a high point where everybody now is crowing that they're going to win. But, like he's going too long. Well, let's see if they keep it tight. I think his daughter-in-law is really super sharp.